Yeah, we got Australia on the building on my side.
Awesome. Okay, so I see people are joining in and saying hi. Thank you guys for joining in.
What's up, guys?
Awesome.
Thank you for tuning in.
So we're going to dive right in. This video is a video that we have been wanting to make for a bit, and we haven't really figured out whether or not we wanted to make it an Instagram live or an IGTV, or if we wanted to shoot this sort of like highly produced video. You guys know that we make those.
Yeah, so we were thinking about it. We were going to do that, but
yes, let me wave hi to everybody.
What's up, what's up?
Hello, hello. Oh, Esteban's tuning in.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey. So, we wanted to talk about something very specific. We recently, on January 31st, hit our 1 year anniversary at eXp Realty. Now, let's talk about that.
Yeah, so what we wanted to do, this is a very impromptu video, by the way, is we wanted to discuss, like, okay, what kind of questions do you guys have, right? So we opened it up to everybody, and we got a couple of questions in regards to, okay, what is it like? A bunch of different questions in regards to EXP. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. And, you know, we're here to answer it. We're here to address the elephant in the room, or, you know, just be completely honest. We got a whole bunch that we pulled up on the laptop. So for those of you who don't know, we actually have our questions here. We have my phone here, and we have Amanda's phone over here, and we're going live on all of them.
Yes, so we actually set up an Instagram story prior to this, and we asked all of you who are part of our audience to let us know what questions you might have about what it's been like the last 12 months being a part of eXp Realty. I see that my brother-in-law says E2 likes your beard.
Yes, I just shaped it up, by the way, because I knew I was going live.
Yes, so let's tackle the questions. So the first question that we actually got two questions like this. So we're just going to kind of summarize those questions. And I feel like it's a question that comes up often for you.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. And we also, if you guys have any questions, you can leave them in the comments and we will address them throughout. If you guys do have any questions, you can always throw them in the chat and we're more than happy to answer them. But This is one question that I feel like I've been getting a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why would a broker/owner of a brokerage join eXp Realty, right? Like, what's in it for me? I guess that's a big thing. Like, oh, you were getting...
Yeah. You were a broker owner. You had your own brokerage. You had about 8 or 9 agents within your brokerage. You were earning between 30, 20, or 10 split from them from each of their transactions. Why in the world would you move over to eXp Realty?
So there's a lot that goes into that, right? So there's a lot that goes behind that question. One big point was, you know, what we were trying to create was already out there, you can say, right? We were trying to create an environment where our agents can excel, right? But the thing is, our pockets were not deep enough to even give them the tools, the health care, a higher split than we could at the independent brokerage. Yeah. So at some point, being a leader, you have to kind of look back and reflect and be like, you know what? This is a better option for my agents, right? Yeah. So what can make us grow more than, you know, kind of coming together? And we kind of changed that relationship. Before we were that broker owner and agent relationship, and now I feel like we have this partner relationship, and everybody kind of takes ownership, which is a lot more pleasant. And we don't have to spend like I would say hours and hours in the office. We used to be in the office till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I feel like I can speak to that in terms of, I got licensed about 3 years ago, and Alex has been in the industry for about 8 years. And he was a broker owner before I ever came into the picture. And I feel as if I sort of got like this insane crash course in real estate, where I not only got to see the agent side and what it's like to be client facing, but I also kind of got that extreme, like, quick paced, fast course in what it's like to be a broker owner.
For sure.
Right? Like, I was part of every single detail that encompassed actually running a team, running a brokerage, the numbers, the bills, everything. And I think we hit a point where I'll never forget this. We got a $60,000 commission check.
$60,000, guys. And you know what's crazy? We weren't even happy about it, right?
No.
We said, oh, wow, we have 3 months worth of bills left. and that really kind of started putting things into perspective.
Yeah, it's crazy. You get a check for $60,000, and you're like, wow. So we have 3 months of bills here. Great.
Yeah. So I knew something was kind of off from that point. So I really started to do some introspection. And one huge thing, too, was why did I even become a broker in the first place?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I became a broker because in my last, when I became an agent, I didn't feel like I had the guidance. So I wanted to provide that more so.
Definitely. And I think one thing that I noticed when I came into the industry and, you know, shadowing Alex, being mentored by Alex, one thing that I noticed in particular was I would come across a lot of agents. And when I got into the education aspect of teaching marketing and digital advertising to real estate agents, I realized, whoa, there are a lot of real estate agents who don't actually want to necessarily be real estate agents forever. They want to build wealth. They want to grow their businesses to a point where they get to step out of their business. And I didn't realize that coming in, and I was like, wow, there's a huge gap here in terms of like, you run into those agents who've been in the industry for 20 years and they're like...
And they're sour as hell.
I've been in this business for X amount of years, and it's kind of like, okay, how come you haven't bought like a dozen investment properties and like retired?
Yeah, or like, you know, why aren't you investing in yourself enough to even retire from the industry?
And I think there's this huge misconception that in order to retire yourself or in order to build wealth as a real estate agent, you have to become a broker owner. And that's such a huge misconception.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, there's a lot of lack of freedom that comes with actually being a broker owner. No matter what broker you speak to, we actually spend more time in the office than anyone else.
Definitely.
It's not as freeing as you think it is. It's not as passive as you think it is. You know, if it was that passive, everybody would do it. Statistically, it's not, right?
Yeah.
So that was the reason why. There's obviously there's a lot of reasons why behind it, you know?
Yeah. So I think, so Ryan asks a great question. He says, are you still a broker as part of eXp?
Yes, I am still a broker. I'm an associate broker with eXp. So, you know, I still hold my broker's license. I still can do commercial deals. I still can do my stuff. It's just that I don't have the liability anymore.
Yes.
And that was another reason, too. Honestly, liability is crazy, right? I don't know about any brokers in the room.
So we actually had quite a few newer agents on our team. When he was a broker owner, we had a handful of new agents, and that can be very nerve-wracking when all of the actual legal liability is on you. Like, they say one wrong thing, and you're like,
oh my God, oh my God.
Oh.
That's racist. Stop it. You know what I'm saying?
You can't say that. That's against the rules.
Yeah, like anything could be perceived in a negative way. And obviously with the liability, the more agents you have, the more liability you have, the bigger your monthly bill is. And it gets a little crazy. It gets a little out there. So now I have the ability to be a broker, lead a team without any of that liability.
Yes. And just to chime in about the liability, a lot of real estate brokers... Just common sense, you push off the liability, the cost of it, to your real estate agents. So for us at the brokerage, we were charging our agents $500 off the bat, like legit.
Actually, two payments of $250.
Depending. If you had a sales deal, it was $500.
Yeah.
If you had a rental deal, then it would be your first two rentals. We would do $250. And what's crazy about that is a lot of real estate brokers actually profit. It's a profit center for them in terms of the E&O insurance that you pay. And it's unfortunate that your first two deals of the year, we have to charge that because we're a boutique brokerage and yada yada. And when we first came into eXp Realty and learning about the details of it, we were like, it's pretty awesome that they're only going to charge us $40 per transaction.
Yeah,
and
right?
It caps. It caps. You'll never pay more than $500 per year, and it's $40 per transaction. And the beauty of that is that they're not paying it in one shot, which a lot of real estate agents, like, if you're just getting started, your first deal is everything.
Yeah,
and to give up $500
and that first $500 could mean a lot.
Yeah.
You know? It could be the difference between you paying your bills and you not paying your bills.
Yes.
And that was another big reason. And obviously, we broke down a spreadsheet. It actually took us a long time to actually join eXp. So it took us about 6 months before we actually took the leap into eXp.
Yeah.
And, you know, when we actually really ran the numbers and broke down all the different tools we were paying for and everything was already provided with eXp, we kind of just like, wow, you know, we're saving all this. why pay $20,000 a month, right?
Yeah, and
things were getting out of control. Let's just say it like that.
And I think one thing that really hit us hard was we were looking at what it was that we could offer the people in our team, right? It's a different situation when you're a solo agent and you're looking at what a brokerage can offer you. Like, everyone who's watching this, whether you're watching it live or you're watching the replay, you could be as happy as can be, but you really should be thinking about your broker they're not your boss, right? The brokerage is a tool, just like RedX, just like your CRM, just like Zillow Premier Agent, any of that. It's a tool. What tools are they offering you? And when we looked at what we would be able to provide cost-wise, just opportunity-wise, and resources-wise to the people in our brokerage, we were kind of like, we have to admit here, ego aside, that
they provide more.
They provide more. It will cost the agents less, and they'll get a higher split. So what are we really doing here?
Exactly. So, that's something we also had to consider. We also got another question right now that says, I'm not a broker. Can I still join EXP as an agent? Or do I need to join a team? No, you do not have to join a team. You can actually join, but picking a sponsor is very important. But yes. I'm pretty sure we'll address that. We got a bunch of questions. So we only answered question 1, guys. So let's actually move on from that first question. Let's go to the next one. Why did we join eXp Realty? I'm pretty sure we kind of covered that, I would say, with that first question. We joined it because they have a lot of awesome tools, and we feel like they can provide a lot of value to our agents, and we do believe that it has a big future.
Honestly, aside from the actual everything that we've talked about thus far, one of the main reasons that we switched over to eXp Realty, even though he was a broker owner, yes, we were making a higher split. In general, the numbers make sense when you think 5-10 years down the road, right? Like we created a spreadsheet and we thought about our business plan. What does it look like 5-10 years from now? And eXp was the better fit for us. It's not for everybody, and we'll admit that. It's a technology-based company. If you are an agent who's not into moving with the times, I'm just going to say it.
Move this way a little bit, I'll move this way a little bit.
I'm trying to, we're going live on both of our phones, so we're kind of like, I'm more this side, he's more that side.
Yeah.
But yeah, just in general, eXp, it's not for people who are not tech savvy. If you 100%. Are an agent who is not tech savvy, you're not invited.
Yeah, like for example, there was someone that reached out to me that was like, "Oh, I don't like Uber. I don't use Uber." Well, then that might not be EXP. May not be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
if you don't like email or text messaging or just anything that has to do with tech, then it's not for you.
Yeah, and if you have trouble, with CRMs, for sure.
It's not for you.
Is EXP licensed to all states? Yes, they are.
Yes, so we are all over the United States.
And we're even international now. We have we're opening in Brazil. We just opened in Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm. We're opening in Italy, France.
Yeah, I think one thing that is so exciting about eXp, and this isn't even one of the questions, but a couple weeks ago, I want to say like 2 weeks ago, we recently opened up in Puerto Rico. And I was so happy. I was like, Puerto Rico! Like, and we tuned into the live. Hyped. I was so hyped. And a lot of our team members were super hyped because it's like, wow, like we're open for real estate in Puerto Rico. We're open for real estate in Italy. We're open for real estate in Canada, Hawaii, like all these different places. And every time they open up a new country, it's this like wholesome family thing where they break down what it took, what was the process in that country to open up that country, what does it look like, what is the business structure in that country for those real estate agents.
Sure.
And it's so exciting. And we are just opening up new doors for real estate agents in different places, different countries, different provinces. And it's very exciting to be a part of that process. And the best part is they recently announced that we're going to be able to enjoy revenue share. We're going to be able to enjoy revenue share from agents who are in different countries, which is mind-blowing.
For sure.
Yes.
So,
Brian says, can EXP help me retire?
Of course it can.
Absolutely.
Of course it can.
I think one thing that got us hype is that we have been thinking about kind of like getting an RV.
Oh yeah, like getting an RV, quitting life, and just like going on the road and like working everywhere. That's a big thing, and
we found out that there was a real estate agent who was only about, I want to say, 1.5 years, 2 years into eXp Realty. And they were actually able to basically retire and work solely off of referring deals to agents in their previous market sector. And they just went full time, like RVing, traveling the world, which was something that was
dream
really
life.
exciting for us.
It's my dream. It's my dream. We're gonna get there though. I feel it because EXP is already possibly gonna pay for my house. So let's
we've doubled our money, our wedding money.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So let's answer another question here. So we got is it an MLM? So yes, there is some MLM elements to it. Right?
In a sense.
No, there's multi-level marketing in a sense where like there is an MLM aspect to it in regards to the revenue share program, but that's not something that's mandatory. You can still be a real estate agent with EXP and not do the revenue share program. The revenue share program is just great for anybody who is, who has a team or wants to build a team or build their organization. So it is something that is something that you can do.
I think the reason that whole MLM question comes up is honestly a lot of people confuse. I have a background in marketing. A lot of people confuse the term MLM with pyramid scheme. Yeah. Totally unrelated.
It's very synonymous with it because usually a pyramid scheme is something where you're not going to be able to get paid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's no other avenue of making money. With real, like obviously this system was based off of the Keller Williams system, the profit share program, where they just transferred it over. Yeah. Right. And Keller Williams is a huge organization. They haven't pulled the rug under anybody. No. Right. So it's just something they took it to the next level. And yes, there's an MLM aspect to it, but it's not the whole thing. There's so much more that goes into EXP. Yeah. That is MLM.
So I see that Fitzgerald 3935 asks to join our live. Ordinarily, I would totally invite you in, but we're not going to because we have zero clue how that would affect our audio. We're both in the same apartment right now. We're going live on 2 different phones. Yeah. So we don't want to bring you in and then you start talking and it kind of like makes Alex's phone's audio go like berserk.
Yeah, we don't want to have you guys bugging out.
Yes, but if we go live again in the future, you want to join in and it's just one of us, we're totally down.
Yeah, 100% down for that all the time, every time. All right, so
this is a great question. So one question that we got asked was, what do you think about EXPI stock? I'll let you chime in on this one.
Oh, man, don't get me started. All right, so I'm a big holder of EXPI stock. I really did look into EXPI before even joining EXP. And the fundamentals of the company made sense. As an investor, I also trade in stocks, for those of you who do not know. The fundamentals of the company, really, really solid. They have a very low debt going on. Our cats are trying to get into the live. They have a very low debt. Okay. So it made it a really good investment for me. So I purchased it before. Currently, we actually earn stock so many different ways that we were able to double our wedding budget. So I think we have almost over 40 grand worth of EXPI stock 1 year in. So that's pretty solid. Our cat is in the building.
There you go.
Right? And
yeah, go ahead, keep talking.
So yeah, all in all, I believe the stock is doing great. I know a lot of people are freaking out right now because the stock did dip, but you also have to understand that they just split, right? So even when Apple split, the stock usually dips. So that's something to be aware of, guys. I'm personally buying this dip like crazy. So I'm going hard on the EXPI
stock.
How
much did you just buy today?
I bought $6 grand worth of stock. Not today, on Thursday.
Yeah, on Thursday.
So I bought $6 grand worth of stock, and I'm gonna keep buying. So everybody who's dropping their bags, I'm picking them up. Just so you guys.
Everybody who's selling EXPI, he's buying your stocks back. Yeah. So we're gonna answer Ryan's question in just a sec. I do want to chime in about the stock in case that you're unfamiliar with EXP and how it works. Whenever we, as real estate agents with EXP, whenever we close our very first deal every year. So every single year we earn $200 worth of stock when we close our first deal. When we cap, which the cap is $16,000, we earn $400 worth of stock for each person, right? Whenever we cap every year. When we icon agent, right, which is a huge award that you get, you earn $16,000 worth of a top performing technology company stock. Yeah. $16,000 worth of stock.
And also, just so you guys know, a little technical part, like EXP is not just a real estate company, it's also a tech company. They also own Verbella, Idx solution, and they also, what's the Idx solution?
It's called Idx oh my gosh, IDX Showcase IDX.
Showcase IDX, which is a IDX company for
Yes.
those of you who have like real estate websites.
We also own Success Enterprises.
Yeah, where Tony Robbins came from, right? So you're not just owning a real estate company; you're owning more, and it's really smart what they did in regards to making that a holding company.
As well as Verbella.
Oh yeah, Verbella, which is the main technology. It's used by the NBA. It's used by the armed forces. It's used by Stanford University. In this COVID like world that we live in, it's like an amazing technology to have. So think about that when you're buying EXP or you're buying into EXP as a real estate company.
Yeah.
You're not just getting that; you're getting everything with that
Exactly. Speaking of Verbella, I want to make sure that I go back and answer Ryan's question. So just keep in mind we're going live on 2 different phones right now.
Yeah.
So Ryan asks, as part of EXP, do you have a main director that can help you with transaction details? And I'll chime in on that. Honestly, at EXP, you not only have your broker and your managing broker who will answer questions for you, whether it's via email or via phone, you also have the access of over 1,000 now, right?
Yeah.
It was 5 when we first came into eXp Realty. It was 500 employees who were at our fingertips within eXp World. Now there's over 1,000 employees who are at your fingertips within eXp World. And these employees, their sole purpose is to support us in our real estate business. So at any time, well, not any time, but within 8 a.m. to, I believe, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I have to double check that, but you can log into eXp World and actually get real time live, like just like we're speaking here, except you would be able to talk back to me. You can ask them questions about transaction, accounting, legal questions that you have. There's the whole gamut of whatever you could think of that you need help with as a real estate agent. They are there to help you, and that is their sole purpose. You don't have a broker who's kind of like at their wits' end and can't give you the time of day.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
For
We
sure.
don't have those problems.
Yeah, and there's obviously also a lot of training in the world too.
There's over 60 hours now of training.
Yeah, 60 hours per week. Not just 60 hours in
Yeah.
general, 60 hours per week. They also have a knowledge base where you can go and access old trainings. They have live trainings all the time, which is great.
Which we want to be practical about what we're talking about. So like 60 hours of training, like why does that even matter? And that speaks to, as a broker owner, it was just the 2 of us doing the training for all of the agents. And you can imagine having your own listings, having back-end management work to do, trying to recruit agents into your brokerage so that you can be profitable. All of that takes time. And if you can only offer the agents in your team, in your brokerage, that amount of time, doesn't really, and they're only learning from you. And sometimes it's better when people can learn from others, people who are beyond you, people who are doing more production. And that's what the world, eXp World, offers, because there's 60 plus hours of training in there, and the agents at any time can just log in and take either an on-demand training or a live training and ask questions and have those questions answered by top producers.
For sure. And I some of them have icons, which is really awesome too. So is it good for new agents? So I think it is great for new agents and experienced agents, right? So obviously, because there's such a low cap, it's great for experienced agents. You can basically get 100% commission a lot quicker than a lot of other companies.
Yeah.
And for new agents, there's a bunch of trainings. They have a mentorship program. So if you haven't closed more than 3 transactions, you'll be put on a mentorship program where you're going to basically get a mentor to help you close a couple of deals, which is great. That's like...
Yeah, and the best part about that is that the mentor is within your market.
Oh, yeah. And also, if you're an experienced agent and you want to become a mentor, you can also get paid extra for being a mentor as well, which is kind of an amazing concept. I really do think they thought about everything when it came to being a new agent and joining an organization, right?
Yeah. So let's see. The next question that we got asked in our stories was, why did you choose EXP and not KW? We know exactly who asked this question.
Yeah. So
we won't name names.
Yeah. So without saying anything bad about KW, I think it's an amazing company. I think that they definitely laid a great foundation for the real estate world, right? But KW has a profit share model, right? In my opinion, they're kind of still, They have physical offices, things of that nature. So think about profit, right?
They're an insanely awesome traditional brokerage.
Yeah, brick and mortar. I think they're amazing for what they do in regards to the traditional real estate model, right? But in my opinion, I think things are transferring. You know what I'm saying? Things are changing. And if you think about profit share compared to revenue share, revenue is so much better. Profit, think about it this way. If the company's not profiting, you're not making any money, right? So as a whole, you're kind of relying on your brokerage or your brick and mortar brokerage to actually do that. And also, you're kind of paying their overhead as well, right? So you're only getting based on, what that happened, right? So in my opinion, I think EXP just kind of solved that solution. Yeah. I think EXP is the future of real estate, and I think that's personally why I chose EXP over Keller Williams. I did consider Keller Williams back in the day, not going to lie, right? But, as of right now, I think EXP is where everything is going to start moving towards.
Yeah, and you're already starting, at least for us looking from the outside, looking at other brokerages, you're already starting to see them make that transition little by little, step by step. And I think the next 5 years are really going to kind of highlight that. Yeah. So let's jump into the next question, which was, how do you earn stock?
Oh, man.
I think that's been a huge question because a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about how we earn stock.
Yeah, so there's 3 ways you can earn stock, right? There's the equity program, which is basically you get paid in stock to do what you normally do, right? So if you close your first real estate deal of the year, you're going to get $200 worth of stock. When you cap, you're going to get $400 of stock. If you sponsor someone that comes into the company and they close their first transaction, you're going to also get $400 worth of stock, which is great for an industry where agents suck at saving.
Yeah.
Right? So you're earning something for retirement, and that money is vested for 3 years, and in 3 years you can pull it out, right? Which is awesome. You're just doing what you normally do.
Yeah.
So that's one way of earning stock. The second way of earning stock is the Icon program. What year did they release that? Do you remember off the top of your head?
I think it was 2016, and Ryan will answer your question in a second.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it was 2016.
Yeah, so the Icon Agent Award came out. So basically, when you cap and you close about 20 transactions outside of that, you're going to get paid $16,000 back in the form of stock, which is kind of crazy if you think about, because I know someone that Iconed
Oh my gosh!
times.
We know someone who iconed three times, 3 years in a row. We know someone who iconed and then a month later capped, because it's so possible within the company, especially like depending like your level of productivity. And we also know someone who iconed when EXPI stock was $8 a share.
So if you think about that, they got $16,000 worth of stock when it was $8 a share. Where do you think that is right now when it already went up to $160 and then split? So now they have double that amount, and it's insane to even think about. I know somebody that has, I think it was $5 million worth of stock right now, which is insane.
Yeah.
Right?
And they haven't even been with the company that long. Like, I think a lot of people believe like, oh, if you have millions of dollars worth of stock, or you have this huge downline team, whatever, you've been with the company 6-7 years. And no, these people that we're talking about are 3 years or less.
Yeah. So well, some of them are 6 years in, but
so one person icons 6 years in a row.
Yeah. They've
been in for 6 years.
Yeah. So it is possible, right? Especially if you're a top producing agent, and think about it, it's $5 million, right? Like $5 million that is just there. So that's crazy. So, and the last way to earn stock, we kind of went off on a tangent on Icon Agent. Last way on earn stock is a sustainable equity program, which is you can buy 5% of EXP, like of your commission. So when you close a deal.
Yeah. So you sign up for every time you close a deal.
Yeah.
EXP will take 5% of your commission
and basically give it to you at a 10% discount. Right,
which is insane.
Yeah, so you can actually withdraw that instantly. But it's pretty cool, right? So agents really suck at saving. We know this. So it's a good way to kind of save up for retirement.
Yeah, it really isn't. And we've heard so many amazing stories. Like recently there was one agent who's within our downline structure, and she was actually able to use the stock programs that are available to her to pay off all of her debt, and to be able to take that savings and pay off her mortgage which is crazy. Like that is incredible. And a lot of agents, they start off joining EXP and they're like, no, I don't want to give up 5% of my commission to give it to stocks. You know, the stock market fluctuates. And it's kind of like, you're crazy not to.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? You're getting it at a 10% discount.
And think about it. If you don't really think about that 5%, it really doesn't make a difference. Some of you guys right now out there are on a 70-30 or a 50-50 split. You're not going to miss 5% of your commission.
You're not. Well, honestly, we don't miss it. And when we log into the ShareWorks app, and we were 4 months?
6 months. We were 6 months in, right? And I did not check my stock account.
We didn't know how to log in all honesty.
We had no idea how to log in. Went in there was over $10,000 worth of stock in there. I had no idea that we had that.
Which was wonderful. Like, it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. You're like, oh, like, we've never logged in. Let's log in. And all of a sudden, there's 10 grand we didn't know about.
Yeah, and mind you, that was before we were even closing deals with EXP.
Yeah, we hadn't closed any deals with EXP yet.
Yeah, because we were still closing out things with our brokerage before transferring over.
Yeah.
And now that same 10,000 is now 40K. Right,
yeah.
So it's kind of crazy. But all stocks aside, let's go to the next question because I feel like we're stuck.
So, before we jump into the next one, I want to make sure we answer Ryan's question. So, Ryan asked, I think you already explained revenue sharing, but do you mind covering it quickly again? I'm also going to DM you with some questions. You've got me interested.
Okay, sure.
So, revenue share in a nutshell.
So, revenue share is a 7-layer system, right, where if you inspire someone to join the company, right, you know, when you sponsor someone, you're kind of like either A, bringing them on your team or just exposing them to EXP. Anyone that they bring on, you're going to get access to, and so on and so forth. There's also levels where you're going to have to unlock, right? It gets a little complicated. I would love to kind of sit down if you have any questions and go a little further in depth. The reason why we can't really do that right now is because we don't have
we don't have slides
a chart or slide or anything like that. But, you know, like I said, it's not something that's mandatory. It's something that's completely up to you if you even want to contribute in, right? Yeah. So it's a really amazing way to make passive income. You know, some people I know actually are down in their 5th tier already.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
We know a lot of people who are close to us, like we'll have dinner with them close to us, and they're already taking advantage of their 5th tier. They're making well over 5 figures per month in revenue share, not counting what they are actually doing in real estate transactions, and they don't have a crazy large, you know, downline in terms of, you know, having agents sign up to collaborate with them. And I think that's something that we have been very excited about, because when we had the brokerage, collaborating with the agents in our brokerage was very much dependent on like, but are you producing? But are you doing this? Like we had, our time was money, and now it's a totally different story. Yeah.
So another thing too is that this revenue share program allowed us to expand nationally. So that was something like very big for us.
Yeah.
We wanted to expand to different states because we had people in Canada, Florida, California contact us like, hey, when is Ian Alexander coming to?
We're like,
I'm like, bro, we gotta expand.
Not in our lifetime.
We're trying to go to Brooklyn first, you know. Now, you know, let's focus on Brooklyn. Then we'll try to get to Jersey, and then maybe we'll get to Canada one day, right? But this system allows us to kind of expand, share our knowledge, share our marketing material, and actually expand together, which is really awesome.
Yeah, like when we had the brokerage, we actually created a website that has this whole back-end, like, private login area. It's a membership website. And that website, we called it the Ian Alexander Academy. And it had over 115 videos of real estate training. We also had a gallery of images that the agents could use for social media marketing. We had marketing templates in there, listing presentations, marketing proposals, flyer designs. We had action plans, just so much stuff in there. And now that we are with EXP, we can actually offer that to the people that are in our downline without having to worry about, what level of production are they doing? How much are we charging them, kind of thing. We're able to just stack that.
Yeah, so another great thing about the revenue share is that it takes away, it creates financial alignment, right? So you're actually, like, there's people that are 7 tiers above us, right? But they're trying to provide value to the 7 tiers underneath them to make sure that they're succeeding, because if we're succeeding, they're succeeding, right? So it created this whole dynamic of stacking resources, which is something that I have not seen yet at any other company, right? Because if you think about any other franchise, you're kind of stuck in your own areas, right?
Yeah, it's such an open mindset. Like we actually had one agent who came into our weekly team meeting. So we have team meetings every Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. over Zoom, and this person is not part of our downline. They're not part of our upline, nothing like that. They didn't benefit whatsoever. But out of like just like the sheer like they want everyone in the company to grow and to excel. They came into our team meeting and they did a whole training on how to utilize the KV Core CRM and KV Core website in order to generate more leads within your real estate business. And they went over like 5 or 6 different ways to do it. And they answered everybody's Q&A. We went overtime in the meeting and it was wonderful. And it's crazy because like ordinarily you would have to pay someone to do that, or they would have to be like part of like a team leader or something, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was a really cool experience. So I mean, that's the reason why, like, you know, I think that financial alignment with the revenue share is very, very solid. It's really great. Hey,
for sure. Our kitty is making a guest appearance. The cats always love to be in the lives. So let's jump into the next question before we end this thing, because we've been on this for a bit. I didn't realize how long these questions would take to answer.
Yeah.
So would you? We know who asked this question too.
Would you consider joining Exit? So, for those of you who don't know, I actually started my career with Exit, and no, I would not consider going back. However, you know, like I said, solid company. There's a little for everybody. So, you know, no negativity towards Exit. I'm just not, you know, it's not my cup of tea anymore. I used to be there. I was there for 3 years. Solid company, has a lot of great training.
It's just not for us.
Not for us. All right. So what's the next question?
If there were no stocks at eXp, would it be that great? Ooh.
Yeah, that's a great question. So, to be honest with you, the stock aspect of it is only one piece of the puzzle, right? I think that, to be honest with you, the best part for me about eXp is not necessarily the stock, it's not revenue share, it's the alignment you have with all these different leaders.
Yeah, the access.
Yeah, you have a lot of access to leaders, and there's like leaders creating leaders, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I really like that type of culture, and it's all about expanding. It's all about like creating a better experience for everyone else, which I personally really enjoy.
Yeah. So the next question was,
do I get a free hoodie if I join?
Do I get a free hoodie if I join?
It depends.
So, okay, time out. For those of you who don't know, who are either watching this live or maybe you're watching this as a replay, we are the co-founders of Designed for Agents, which is an e-commerce store. we make clothing like this. So we sell daily planners, hoodies, sports bras, leggings, joggers, t-shirts, marketing materials, all that stuff on there. And this person asked, we're going to reach out to you after this. This person asked if they would get a free hoodie. So this hoodie, it's jumping my phone. Yeah. this hoodie for free if they join the team. How would you answer that?
Sometimes people get hoodies, sometimes people don't.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It depends.
It's not a mandatory thing.
Yeah, it's not an automatic.
But if you join, maybe I will consider. Alright? If you join, maybe I will consider throwing a hoodie.
I'm not gonna lie, we have a few surprises for the people who have recently joined. But you know, they'll find out when they find out.
Yeah, for sure. We got some. So what?
So Edward says the stock is just the cherry in the pie. Yes. Yeah, honestly, like it's freaking free money.
Like I said, 6 months I didn't even notice, right? And then I went in there and I was like, hey, now I can really provide a better wedding for us. So that's awesome.
Edward, we gotta hang out.
Yeah, and also for you guys to know how much I believe in the company, I actually buy stock myself, right? So
so we mentioned 6,000 or 6,000, 8,000.
What?
Of stock that you bought.
Oh yeah, I buy like with my personal money, I buy into the stock as well. So that's outside of eXp.
Yeah.
So that's something as well. So if you guys are ever interested in possibly collaborating with us, or you want to learn a little more, I know Ryan said he was going to DM us. You guys can DM us anytime. We're open book. Like you said, we're reading all the questions that are alive. So feel free to DM us. We're more than happy to answer those questions.
Yeah.
And we're happy to explain a little more about what this amazing company has to offer.
Yeah, and I want you guys to understand that Alex and I are open books. It doesn't necessarily mean that if you reach out to us about eXp Realty and you have curious questions, we're not going to hound you or anything like that. That's not what it's about.
I will not hassle you once. I will not make you feel like you're obligated to do anything. That's not what this is about. It's purely educational.
Yeah, I honestly look at it like, whether you are interested in eXp or not, you should know about it. You should understand the model. You should understand what it has to offer, because you could be as happy as can be where you are, but it's important to understand what tools, what resources are out there that you could potentially use in case something changes.
For sure. I mean, think about it this way. If you were trying to open a franchise of like a blockbuster franchise, I'm pretty sure you will want to know when Netflix came out.
Yeah.
So you have an option to make a decision whether you want to stay on board or you want to leave.
Yes, definitely. So we'll leave it at that. Those were all the questions that we got asked. We appreciate everybody who either joined in live with us tonight or you are watching the replay right now. I'm gonna throw in a dirty, shameless plug. If you like any of these shirts, Allergic to Mediocrity, I'm gonna bring you into my video. Buy, sell, invest, or buy, sell, invest. You can check it out.
Wait, hold on.
You can check them out at designedforagents.com or the link in our bio. We're live on 2 different phones.
And we also have a business plan that we just launched. So if you want to start your business the right way, you want to know your numbers, you want to know how to break everything down, you can also get that there as well.
Yes.
You can. What else is in there? You just explain.
Yeah, there's a lot in here. It breaks down your numbers, your daily numbers,
your manifest
contacts,
goals,
your manifest goals, your finances,
marketing proposal,
everything, literally.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great Saturday night.
Adios.